Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. You know, a lot of people have started back traveling, and the one thing that I keep hearing from everybody is it is almost impossible to do it affordably. And we've really been missing a service here in Ottawa that takes us to, you know, places that we would often go, like Toronto and Montreal and beyond. Well, my next guest has come up with just a fantastic solution. John, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. You're the director of Red Arrow. What was the inspiration behind this, John?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Derek. To start with, you know, Red Arrow's been in Alberta actually since 1979, and the whole concept of Red Arrow was really to elevate motorcoach travel. I think often we kind of think about, you know, bus travel as last resort or
right.
that kind of thing. And, you know, we really wanted to elevate that experience. So Red Arrow was born, and it's been a great service. And, you know, a lot of people in Ontario have been asking about it. Those that travel into Alberta, into Western Canada have used it, have tried it. And we've
right.
had so much feedback that it was really time to bring that service to Ontario and to the folks in Ottawa.
Well, I guess, John, you really saw the obvious need, right? I mean, we lost many of the old motor coaches, buses, those companies, you know, went under. And as I said, you know, to find something affordable to go anywhere in the country, it became, I was just telling you, a colleague of ours looking to go from Ottawa to Toronto. I mean, it's over $700 for a flight, right?
Yeah, and that's the great part. And, you know, with Red Arrow, you still get that, I would call it airline experience. We have an onboard attendant. We have
really?
Snacks and you know, pop and water and juice and some Perrier, free Wi-Fi. We have an onboard entertainment system, so you can bring your device, connect to our complimentary Wi-Fi, and you can watch movies and shows. So you really get that experience, but the biggest part is you can be productive, right? So
right.
you can take that conference call if you're on the coach. You can get your work done. If you're a student traveling, get your homework done, you know, before you get home for the weekend and hang out with your friends.
And just looking at the comfort level, you know, from that interior that I saw, much different than some of the buses sort of that I've taken to Buffalo to see a football game kind of thing.
Very
right?
different. You know, you noticed single row seat that we have, which is quite popular. You kind of have your own little office there on the go, right? You know, and the other piece we were kind of chatting the other day about, and you don't think about these little things, but you get on a plane, there's a middle seat. The coach doesn't have a middle seat, so you're always in a window or an aisle.
Right.
And even in our double row seats, have two armrests in the middle, so each person, you know, you're not fighting for that armrest. I'm going to get my seat first so I can keep that armrest. So you have all those creature comforts, and like you said, at an affordable price to travel throughout Ontario.
Accessibility is a big thing for a lot of people. Tell me about, you know, how you can cater to those with accessibility issues, John.
Yeah, accessibility is a big piece of what we do. Our entire fleet is wheelchair accessible, and we really take pride in offering sustainable and accessible travel. And, you know, in addition to accessibility, it's sustainability too. A lot of people are choosing, you know, not to get a driver's license, or choosing to leave vehicles at home, or maybe going to one vehicle per household sort of system, to really think about the environmental impact on what they're doing. And there's no better way to travel for the environment than by motor coach. We're taking 35 vehicles off the road every single trip.
As far as destination goes here in Ontario, what areas do you serve? Yeah,
so our starting point is Ottawa, Kingston, Scarborough, and Toronto, and we're really focusing on that. December 4th, we're going to start with 4 trips daily along the corridor, and then December 8th, our full complement to schedules, we'll have 6 trips a day between Toronto and Ottawa, and we hope to go from there.
What about luggage? Do you have any sort of restrictions on what you can bring, how much you can bring?
Yeah, I mean, a lot better than what you can carry on a plane for sure.
Right.
You can bring 2 full suitcases put underneath, and then you can bring 2 pieces of luggage and inside into our overhead bins as well. So 4 pieces of luggage is you know, by far an industry leadership on that side, and so lots of opportunity to travel, you know, for the holidays, or even those tourists coming into Ontario Ontario with a couple large suitcases, lots of room for that.
Yeah, and you know, if their home base is here in Ottawa, they may want to visit some of these places that you just mentioned, right? Or even vice versa. You know, if you're in Toronto, you may want to stop by the nation's capital.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I think, you know, over the past few years, you know, people have been limited as to where and how they can travel, and I think everyone's excited just to be able to get out, and you know, we want to bring that service that people can definitely rely on. So, you know, grandparents visiting grandkids, friends visiting friends, going to school. We're back to work traveling. I've traveled to Ottawa to chat with you today.
We saw the motorcoach sitting out in the parking lot there. So, it's a beauty, that's for sure.
Thanks. So, you know, that's what we're all about. We're here to serve the people, and most importantly, to get people safely home.
What's the booking process like, John?
Book online at redarrow.ca. Pretty simple. We have a toll-free number as well that people can dial in, but we definitely suggest book as far in advance as possible. redarrow.ca. And right now, too, kind of for our first week of service, we've got a $25 fare for everyone across the board. So
wow.
Really suggest if anyone's thinking about it, want to give it a try, for $25, it's well worth it.
Yeah, no kidding. You have a rewards program too, I understand?
Yeah, we do have a frequent traveler program where you kind of collect points and then you get free travel with it. So it's pretty simple. You know, you take 5 trips, you get one free kind of thing. So it works really well, and those that are kind of commuting often for work really take advantage of that.
Any plans on expanding beyond Ontario?
Yeah, we're hopeful.
I just think Montreal, right? I mean, that's the first thing that kind of comes to mind.
Yeah, we're hopeful. I think right now our focus is kind of establish our main corridor. You know, we've expanded in the West over the years, and we're fortunate enough and excited to bring the brand to Ontario, and this is, I would call it phase 1.
Excellent.
So I would say stay tuned for more phases.
John, congratulations, and you know, thanks for thinking of us here in Ontario. Really appreciate it. I'll remind everyone, redarrow.ca. Simple to remember, to book and find out more information. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this.